The savanna biome is by far the ugliest biome in the game. I mean, this thing just looks absolutely dead brown and orange. There's no green or any life in here at all, except for the couple animals walking around, barely able to feed themselves because there's nothing here. So my goal is to absolutely transform this place so it is unrecognizable. In the previous part, we separated the biomes between the forest and the savanna by using this nice little river that we created. But today we're going to take that a massive step further. Now, this huge area here from this mountain over here all the way down to this kind of little slope, all the way over to here, needs to be absolutely changed. It is just so ugly and it does not fit into the world, especially when we have a world that looks so beautiful, filled to the brim of beautiful farms and completely custom terrain. I mean, just look how gorgeous this place is, and then just look over to the horizon. It is very off-putting, so we're going to fix that today. Now, the very first thing I need to do is get rid of these trees, so let's get chop-a-lopping. I guess we'll start with this chunky boy here. And the final tree in the area. Oh my days, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm not gonna lie. I had to spend so much time killing these mobs. I've just had them coming at me non-stop. And yeah, I've probably spent at least half the time doing that, which is why it's taken so long. So the first order, or plan for once we hit the day, is to light this entire area up. Because honestly, if I'm spending half of every night just fighting mobs, it's gonna take so long. So while we're waiting, let's go and see how many torches we have. I'm going to grab up all the sticks I've got because I know I'm definitely going to need to make some more torches. I've got some coal in here. I'm going to take that. Ooh, some more. Beautiful. And after raiding all of my chests, this is what we've got. 2 stacks and 12 coal ore. We have 20 regular coal and just over a stack and a half of torches. So let me jump up here and grab me fortune pickaxe. I'm going to hold my silk touch one. Actually, I'll hold my shovel in my offhand just so I can grab the XP. And I'll just chuck a bunch of this stuff down and just start harvesting it up. I want to get XP on my shovel because I'm going to need that durability. Even though we might not get a huge amount, you know, every little bit helps. Bit of sense. But in terms of the shovel's durability, it doesn't seem like it's really doing anything, which kind of sucks. But then again, there's not really much else we can do. I've got the end farm anyway, so once we need to, we can just head over there and get the shovels fixed up. Because I think the other one is completely gone too. Yeah, that one is completely written off. So I think an end trip is going to be happening a couple times for this project anyway. I'm just going to finish up the rest of this coal ore since we're almost done anyway. I'm so excited to get rid of all these mobs, man. It's been so annoying fighting them all the time. Oh, we got torches in here too. So let's see how many torches we can craft up with all of this coal ore. Okay, sticks was our limiting factor. So we still have 2 stacks of coal ore, which is all right. We'll chuck it in there. And then I'm just going to go absolutely ham in placing these torches down absolutely everywhere. Now don't worry, the torches aren't going to be how we light the thing up normally. This is just temporary while we work on the area. I do not need this creeper blowing up right now. Thank the Lord the storm is ending, so they're now burning. Oh man, this has been a long night. As soon as it hit day, we had a thunderstorm, so yeah, it didn't really help much. Okay, through placing in these torches, I'm kind of realizing how big this area is. This is absolutely gigantic. I have no idea if we're even going to be able to get all of this done, but I'm going to give it a red hot go. I've almost already used 2 whole stacks of torches, which is crazy. And I've barely made a dent. I've literally only lit up this area here. We still have all of this area to go. Oh my days. Okay, it's nighttime again, and I think the area is lit up pretty decently. If there's any spots that aren't bright enough, I guess we'll see that by the mob spawning, but I think we're pretty good. I think it's pretty good for now. Now, I do only have 3 steaks, so I need to run back to my little cow farm and borrow their inside so I can eat it. But first, I need to stop by a wheat farm and just grab a bunch of it so I can breed some cows before I take all their insides. 3.5 stacks should be plenty, and I'm just going to come in here and take a bunch of them out. Now, in the previous part, I did actually lose my sword. Now, I wasn't actually recording my screen. I was recording a replay when that happened, so I don't actually have it recorded. I guess I could probably find the replay in the moment where it happened and try and show you guys. I guess if I was able to. You'll see it right now. But yeah, the sword, I accidentally dropped it while fighting something, and then a creeper exploded and blew it up at that exact same moment. So that kind of sucked. So I'm having to use the axe instead, which doesn't have loot in, which is going to mean these cows are not going to give us much meat. But I guess I might as well go and see if I can find a looting enchant at the base from one of the villages and see if I can put that on the axe. If not, I'll just create a sword and chuck it on there. But I don't see why I couldn't put it on an axe. Man, look at these babies in the middle. They're all hibernating right in the center. Oh, sorry, congregating in the center. Hibernating on my days. It looks like I've got them all done. So let's go over to our base, at least where the villagers are, and see if I can find that looting book. I do need to grab some emeralds first, if I have any, that is. Okay, I got 22 in ore form, so I'll place these down quickly and then quickly mine them just to get a bunch of emeralds. Oh, I've got a sharpness 3 book. Okay, I didn't know about that. I can put that on the axe. That'll be nice. And do I have any books in here? Oh, I've got emeralds in here. I'll take them. That's a nice little surprise. I have a bookshelf, so I'm going to place one down and take the... Okay, I'm going to place one down, break it with my fist so I can get the books. Okay, there we go. All more days. Guys, we're moving along nicely. While I'm here, let me just drop off these useless seeds. Let me see if I can chuck the sharpness on the axe. Beautiful. Now we've got sharpness 3, silk touch, efficiency, unbreaking. Now we just need looting. So, oh, 12 books. That's pretty nice. I'll take that. It's a bloody good deal, mate. Pleasure doing business with ya. We can't put looting on it. That really sucks. That sucks so much. Why can't you put looting on an axe? That's dumb. I guess I'm just gonna have to make a sword. Someone said to put fire aspect on it so I don't have to smelt the meat. So let's start by enchanting it. Smite 4, knockback 2. Okay, that's kind of what we already had. I know we had knockback 2 and we had smite 5, I think. So I guess that's not horrible. Probably would have preferred sharpness, but let's grab a couple more looting books. So that'll make looting 3. I'm gonna need more books on my days. Wait, hold on. No, not 64 emeralds for a bookshelf. Are you crazy? What on earth? That trade is disgusting, mate. I don't appreciate it. Oh, I got books in here. Beautiful. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to have enough XP to make looting 4, but I'm going to try. So I'll grab 2 more. I'll need a mending book, so I'll grab 64 emeralds. Mate, that's an absolute joke. You should be ashamed of yourself. Bro, what kind of freaky stuff's going on in this hole? I can't even look at them. 2 endermen and 1 villager. Okay, I'd never seen that before. I didn't even know that was possible, but hey, I ain't going to judge, alright? I'm not a judger. Okay, I looked through all of our other enchants and there's not really anything else I can put on the sword. So, I mean, smite 4, knockback 2, and then some looting should be sufficient for us. So we'll go like this, boom, 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 and then boom. 19 levels, not horrible. And our anvil broke, so that kind of sucks. But it's alright, we got looting 4, and I guess we got a sharpness axe that we're going to be using. So, you know, that's alright. I'm not going to complain. So let's just get a bunch of these fellas, take their meat, cook their meat, then eat their meat so we can get back on track with what we're doing. And of course, that is world domination. I mean, world beautification. These guys made babies and now I'm taking all of their parents. You know, this is pretty horrible. I'm not going to lie. And you really think about what we're doing here, it's pretty brutal. I should be feeling pretty bad, but I'm hungry, all right? I got to do what I gotta do to live, and if that means taking some calves' parents, then I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do. Don't judge me, I'm just trying to get by. We have a bunch of leather in here. That is beautiful. I mean, technically it's disgusting, but it's beautiful, okay? Don't judge me. While we're here, I want to take a look at these maps. These maps are so nice to look at. I love just seeing how our world evolves over time. And I mean, when you look down here, on day 500, this is going to be absolutely mental. We're sitting on day 459, so we're getting closer. But yeah, this is definitely going to be the biggest change. At least that's what I'm going for. I want it to be an unbelievable change. Now, one thing to realize, we don't skip any nights. So when you're watching any other hardcore YouTuber and they're on like day 1000, it's probably half or maybe 2/3 of the time that we've spent on 500 days. We've spent 6.33 days in this world, which is mental. That's 151.92 hours that I'll never get back. But hey, it's productive, okay? I mean, for a full-time Minecraft YouTuber, I'm not full-time, by the way. I still have a full-time job and do this. But for a full-time YouTuber, that's like a month's work. But for me, okay, this is taking a bit of time to get to, all right? So I'm sorry. One day I might be full-time and I'll be able to do more videos, but right now, you know, so I'm a bus driver, all right? I'm definitely the youngest bus driver in Australia. Everyone is super ancient and literally doing it because they've got nothing else to do. It's like a retirement job, but it pays the bills, and it pays the bills pretty nicely. I'm not gonna lie. And hey, it's better than going and slaving over in a construction field, breaking me body for what, 24 bucks an hour? I used to be a concreter. That was deadly on my days. I'll never do that again. Anyway, I'm just yapping. I'm so sorry. Let's get back to work, okay? So now we've got meat, some delicious Aussie Angus beef in our inventory. We're gonna be good for a while. So now I kind of need to try and figure out how we're going to landscape this area. Now, as you can see over for this bit here, I've got it kind of heading upwards a little bit, and I've got another part over here heading up. So I want this to kind of meet up to a little bit of a higher area where we might build like some kind of watchtower or something. And then along the outside of it, I want it to kind of head down to the bottom a little bit. So I'm going to use this stone that I just grabbed, and I'm going to kind of build up these stone walls a little bit because I do want it to be a little bit higher. Okay, actually, hold on. So I don't want to do the walls over there that we've done. I want to do the walls like this. So because of how much space there is here, there's not much. Maybe I should build these in a little bit. So let me delete this. Let's just start this part again. So I guess down here, I'll add a little bit in, see how far we can go. We can't really go too far. We'll do that. Fine, that's all right. But I'll build something like that, okay? So now we've got the bottom layer kind of done. Now what I need to do is just shape this up a little bit better. Let me take off more elytra because that's getting a bit annoying. Just build it in like this. Okay, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Oh my goodness. I guess this is looking okay. So I'm just going to keep going like this along the wall, and I'll just build it up as we go and shape it. Kind of like we've done here. Now, of course, I'm going to add in andesite, and I really like how the moss turned out. And obviously if we add the grass in, it's going to be that weird color. So I'm going to have to use moss on the side here, but we need to get the shape of it done right first. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, considering we've got nothing in there except stone. But obviously this has to wrap around the front a bit better. Has to go all the way around in kind of like a circular motion. So to save you guys a bunch of time, I'm going to do that in the form of a time lapse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig this down here, add in the side mountain all the way around until it meets up over here somewhere, and I'll meet you guys back here when we're ready to continue with this path around the front. So enjoy the time lapse. So I get a little bit carried away and went absolutely bonkers on this area. I didn't intend on doing this much, but you know, one thing led to another, and this is what we've got now. So I did a little bit of texture, adding some tuff into the sides, as well as some moss blocks, because obviously they're much greener than the grass. And I also added in some andesite. Now, obviously, you've got a little path that leads up to this top bit here, but you've also got a path that leads around the other side, which then heads out to this main area or continues down even further. Along the very front hand side, you've also got a path that's a lot lower than this one up here that will eventually lead all the way down to the bottom where it meets the river. I am doing my best to try and keep to the original shape of the land, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job at that. Now over here, I do want to fix this up, and I want to add in a massive mountain. You can see there's already a mountain here, but I want to make it much more defined. So I want the land to have a nice little circle, slowly going up till it meets the side of a mountain, kind of like we've done over here, but much larger. And I want it to be a little bit higher, probably up to this kind of peak here will be pretty perfect. So I started by terraforming the midsection to create a nice flat space for some fields of crops. I then made my way to the rear where I began planning out and building up some mountainsides where the natural land generation was higher. I wanted to keep the land similar to how it was before while making the land more suitable for farmland. I built a second level surrounding the rear of the project area with a large mountain towering over the back to match the land elevation in that spot. I also made sure to add some variation into the sides of the mountains to make it look a little bit more natural. And after a lot of work, this is what we've got to work with. A huge, pretty much blank canvas that we just have to paint in. So, of course, I'm going to start at the very front and work my way towards the back. So around the front here, I want to change all the grass along here to moss blocks and continue the coarse dirt path all the way down to about here. So let's start with the coarse dirt. So I'm pretty much just going to continue this path all the way around the front. Now I'm only going to use coarse dirt for now. In the future, I'll have to use some other blocks to texture it, maybe some bodzul and potentially some rooted dirt. But for now, coarse dirt will be more than enough. And Now we've got a path that heads down here. Eventually this will continue all the way down to the bottom here once we start working on this river part. I want maybe a dock in here. I think that'll be pretty nice. But now we have to change this grass to the moss block because obviously this is orange and this is green. We want to transform the savanna into a beautiful luscious area. So we got to make this grass look good. Now to do that, the best way to approach it is to just bone meal all the moss blocks. And of course I've got to remove, oh no, hold on a second. I didn't know that coarse dirt changes. That is no bueno. So new plan. I think this plan might be better anyway. Okay, so I'm pretty sure moss instant breaks with a hoe. Yes, beautiful. So I just have to find all the bone meal that I can, put the coarse dirt away for now, and it turns out I have a decent amount of bones, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna fly over to the bamboo jungle where I usually collect my podzol. Man, look at that area behind us as we fly away. That looks so much better, and it's gonna look even better once we finish it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be nuts. But anyway, I'm gonna fly down to this stone area here, which eventually I'm gonna have to dig down anyway. The good thing about moss is if you bone meal it, it changes stone, which means we can kind of do two things at once. Eventually, I do need to get this area fixed and dug down a little bit, and I can do that right now while also collecting moss. But of course, we're going to have to fight mobs because there's no torches here. But I'll take the extra bones, that's for sure. I just need to be careful because we do not need to be dying. So I'll grow up a bunch of it, and then I'm just going to go through and dig it all down, which should be a lot quicker, I think, than just trying to remove all the grass and extra blocks that we usually do when I bone meal it over near the base. Whoa, 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 my boy just shot that skeleton into me. That was peak disrespect. And I think this is going to be an easy way to collect up a bunch of moss. Now, I know there's definitely auto farms I could have been building, but we don't use auto farms in this world. I'm going to keep the mine in Minecraft. But that's all the moss done. I'm going to make sure I don't collect any of these moss carpets or anything else because I want to make sure I have the room for the moss blocks. I will keep the azaleas and flowering azaleas though because I do use those in a lot of my builds. And we're going to be using them a lot in this new area that we're converting from a savanna to a, I guess it's a custom biome we're going to be making. It's going to be nothing like anything else you see in the game. But I guess I'll just keep doing this until I have a full inventory of moss blocks, which I don't think will take too long. And we'll see how much a full inventory does for us over at the base. Hopefully it does a lot because I would really like to be seeing how it's going to look once we get a lot of it done. So I'll see you guys in a second. This is the area now. I've got it a lot more flat or down to the kind of level that the bridge is. So I tried to keep it even, but it's pretty hard to do because it kept growing up and down, so I had to dig it out a little bit weird. And I also accidentally built a azalea tree, but yeah, we're gonna keep that there for now because it's a bit of a vibe. And I didn't get exactly a full inventory, but we got pretty close. So I think that's going to be good for now. Now, on the way back, I'm going to grab up some food because I'm starving and I've only got 15 steak, which is not going to cut it. So we'll grab a bunch more and then head all the way back. I'm excited to see how this thing looks with moss around the front. So all we have to do is dig up all the grass and throw in the moss. It's a little bit weird because I literally just placed all this grass in, but yeah, I thought I was going to be able to just easily moss it. I guess I could have if I just didn't place the coarse dirt in, but I think this might be a bit easier, to be honest with you, because trying to harvest up all the extra things that grow when you do the moss with bone meal is a little bit tedious. But have a look at this, guys. You can't even tell this is a savanna biome. That is absolutely remarkable. Have a look at that. That is fantastic. Oh my days. If I didn't tell you, you'd have no idea that this is a savanna biome. And that's exactly what we want, guys. We want to get rid of that disgusting look. It just does not fit with the vibe of the world, guys. It does not. And it's my job to make sure that this world becomes our perfect creation. And I will stop at nothing to make sure that we get there. I mean, I guess if we die, then I can't really do anything else. But that's not the point, all right? We're not going to die because, actually, I don't know that, but hopefully we're not going to die. And honestly, if I do die in this world, I'm not going to do those clickbaity thumbnails that everyone does. Like, I died in my hardcore world. Nah, I'm just going to post like it. It'll look exactly like a normal episode, but at the end, it'll just have the death message and then it'll just end like that, and that'll be it. And you'll be like, oh well, does that mean it's over? And yeah, it would be over then. We do things a little bit differently here. I mean, who knows, this could be the video we die on and it just looks like a normal video, at least to you. But who knows, I could be dead. But there's the moss in around the front and it's looking so much nicer. Just look at that beautiful green. It's really nice. Let's get a bit of distance on that. And yeah, you can see very clearly it's a very small amount of green, so you can't really tell fully, but it changes that completely. It's almost impossible to tell that this was a savanna. And this is only stage 1. Like, there's some more things I've got planned to fill this biome with. And I really do like the moss on the side of this mountain. I think it's nice. But, of course, it isn't going to look perfect just yet because we've only got moss in. I need to add some extra details in here. So let me see what I've got. I'm looking for a particular block that I use a lot. And if you're not new here, you know that has something to do with spruce. And I don't have any in my chests at all. I can't find a single piece. So that's a problem. I'm going to have to go up to my spruce tree farm and grab a bunch of them. We did use the rest of the spruce when we made these 2 buildings over here. I remember now. Anyway, let me chop down a bunch of these trees and I'll see you in a second. And there we go. The tree farm is mostly chopped. I didn't chop these ones because I'm a little bit lazy right now. But we have plenty. We've got almost 3 stacks of spruce logs, which should be plenty to get at least this area done. Actually, it's going to be more than enough, okay? So I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to drop the things we're not really going to be using in here. Oh, I do need the sticks. Let me get them bad boys. And I'm just going to make a bunch of spruce fences. That's my plan. Now, I did actually find there was a shulker box down here that was full of spruce leaves and oak leaves. And it's over here somewhere. Yes, right here. We got almost half a shulker of spruce leaves, which is beautiful because we ran out on the river, or so I thought. But I found a shulker box over there. So that's bloody perfect, mate. But I'm going to use these spruce fences and just plot them every now and again as we go down this path here to kind of guide the player or the animal or thing. I don't know. Whatever it is. Whatever's walking down here, down the path. Just like this, you know, every now and again. So it's not the whole way on all the sides. It's just kind of filling in a bit of space. And hopefully I've got azalea leaves. I don't know if I ran out of those. I don't think I did. I think I got plenty. So let me check these chests down here. Please, please, please. Yes, look, we still got so many. Oh my days. So I'll use a mixture of these 3 leaves and I'll just place them along the path, kind of like we did with the fences, to make it look like there's some bushes. I guess I'll place a torch on the fences too, just to add a little bit of lighting. I think that's pretty nice. It's a little bit harder because obviously, usually I just bone meal a lot. Like if you look down here, I use a lot of grass, but we can't use grass because it goes orange. So we have to get a little bit more creative. I guess I could try and add in some trees. I'll use some spruce fences. So maybe 1 tree kind of here. And I'll just build up, then use those 3 leaves once again, kind of create this cute little tree, just like this. And I think that looks kind of nice, all right? Just fills in the area a bit better. Now, the easiest way to add in beautiful colors is to use the rose bushes. They look really nice. And some peonies. So I'll just sprinkle some of these in here, mostly kind of along the edge of the mountain, I think, and through these bushes a bit. The red color is just so striking, especially because there's a lot of green and gray and brown. So the red just really pops. And we'll do the same with the peonies. I don't want to use as many peonies, but I think they're going to be a nice little detail too. Oh, we got a buddy here. Let's get rid of him. Get out of here, mate. Okay, I think it looks okay. I mean, considering it was a savanna biome, we haven't really got a huge amount of things to work with, but I think it's turned out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with this for now. Okay, so now we're going to head up here, and I know we want a watchtower up there, but we got to connect a road there first. So I'll collect a bunch of coarse dirt and just get this little path planned out just like this. And I think the watchtower is going to be kind of here in this corner. So let me kind of just mark it out with fences. I think I give like 5 blocks by 5, just like this. So we've got the path that leads up to this area that I've planned kind of like a watchtower, and I want a nice wheat farm surrounding this entire thing. But along the edge of the coarse dirt, I want to add in some moss blocks just to add in that little bit of green. I think that'll be very nice. Man, I love seeing the green, the moss blocks right next to the grass. You can really see the difference. And it's so striking. I'm so excited to see this entire area completely transform. It's going to be insane. I think I also want like some kind of dirt path stretching through this wheat farm up here. Kind of like this. And then maybe another one stretching off of that over this way. Kind of like that. Just to break it up a little bit, because otherwise I feel like it's going to be too much. So if you have a look at that, I think that's going to look pretty sick. Maybe just over this way as well. Just to give you access to the back of the farm over here. I think that's a pretty nice shape. Now comes the moment of truth. I didn't actually check this first, so I'm kind of hoping and betting on the fact that wheat is going to look the same. Where are my buckets? What the hell? Ooh, oh my days. Did you guys just see that? I almost killed myself. 1.5 hearts. I was not joking about this being the episode where we could literally die. So let's not fly until we get health back again. That's crazy. I just flew into 2 bits of leaves. Imagine dying by leaves. That's crazy. Let's do our best not to do that again. That was really bad. I'm getting a little bit too confident, guys. A little bit too cocky. So I'll grab up some water in our water buckets. We go up here. right there right now. And we'll get ourselves a good old waterfall. I mean, we'll get ourselves a water source, okay? I don't know what's going on. Now, I did forget another thing. I do that a lot. I kind of know what I'm going to build, but I get one thing at a time. And yeah, it's just not the way we need to be doing things. I need some spruce slabs, mate. Where are they at? I really need to figure out this chest system right here because it's just not working. It's not working for us at all. I don't have any spruce slabs. Oh my days. I'm just flying from... Okay, I'm literally just going crazy. I can't even do anything anymore. I think I'll need to go for a nap. Not going to lie. Oh, the spruce slabs are here. Oh my days. And we're just going to use a firework to get up here because otherwise it's going to take 150 years. We haven't got 150 years, guys. We only have 7. So I'll just try and get this land plowed up. I really want to see if this is going to work. I'm hoping and I'm kind of praying, all right? I'm hoping and praying that we're going to be able to see the wheat and it doesn't look weird in a savanna biome. I don't think it would. I can't think of a reason why the wheat would change color, but you know, Minecraft does some weird things. For example, I mean, look at the phantom. Yeah, that thing's just absolutely silly. It's very silly. So I guess the moment of truth, that looks pretty normal. That looks pretty normal to me. I'm pretty happy. Okay, so at least we know the wheat's going to look good. So we can use wheat, which is very important. I use wheat a lot, more than I should, to be honest. Looks like our hoe is coming to the end of its days, mostly because of what we did over in the jungle. We're not going to talk about that, all right? When we got all the moss, this hoe was absolutely used and abused. I'm just going to chuck torches on these for now. I know I probably shouldn't, but there's no one in this world except me. So, I mean, no one's going to stop me, all right? But I am out of seeds, which is a slight inconvenience. And the hoe's going to break any second. I feel like I need to get myself like a really nice hoe. Maybe some unbreaking, efficiency, silk touch, and mending. And you know what? We'll make the hoe the first netherite item we get, whenever that is. I don't even know when or how or why I'm going to get netherite. Well, I guess we know why now for the hoe. Okay? But I don't know when that's going to happen. But look at that, guys. That plowed land looks no different to how it looks in any other biome, which is very nice. And it's good because this entire area that we're building is going to be mainly a farmland area. That's what the point of the farming village is for. We got the farming village right nearby. I'm going to take a bunch of these diamond blocks because there's no point having them in there. We might as well have some of them on us at all times. But man, look at this. Like this area here. That's all savanna biome, and you would have no idea if I didn't tell you, okay? We are absolutely putting a bunch of makeup on this thing, and you're going to love it. I'm loving it right now. Why do I not have a crafting table here? Why am I so unorganized? There we go. We got ourselves a brand new hoe, and I'm going to walk up because I feel like we fly around too much and it kind of ruins the scale of things. Things just seem so much smaller when you fly around. But this area is huge. Like, look at this. It is enormous. I didn't think it was going to take as long as it did to do all the terraforming we've done. And there's still a few spots that need done. For example, if you look at this kind of mountain here, I still need to shape it up and there's no grass on top, but that's going to be a future project when we continue that way because I have no idea what I'm going to do that way yet. I want to get this whole thing detailed first before we continue any further. Okay, the land is all plowed. I just need to go grab some more seeds because we are completely out, but thankfully I'm sure I've got a bunch in here. Oh, there's 25, 18. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, not as many seeds as I thought we had. That's okay, because we're going to be having a lot of seeds very soon. We could populate a small village with how many seeds we're going to have. All right, let's have a look at that from the sky. And that is such a huge difference. It's literally just farmland and there's not much details in there yet. Don't worry, we're going to do more. Like, this isn't all we're doing, okay? Just let me cook, all right? Let me cook up a feast. Of course, we'll get our leaves in there. Maybe a little peony. Is that how you say it, peony? I hope so. Please, someone correct me if I'm saying it wrong because that's embarrassing. So we get a couple nice leaves in there. Some more flowers when I get some more. And this farm is going to work all the way down this hill and in this spot too. So what I need to do is fix up this here because I don't like that being so flush against the dirt path. Then I'm going to replace all of this with some moss blocks to get some better green in there. And we'll continue this along here too, of course. We're just going to moss this bad boy up just like this. And the rest in here, oh, hold on. I've forgotten a couple blocks. Give me a second. Okay, just like that. All right, and the rest of the grass there is going to become wheat as well. Now, to avoid ever having to do this horrible thing again, like transform a savanna biome, I am pledging to never build my base anywhere near a savanna biome in my life. This is the very last time. I will never put myself through this again. And there we go. We have the farmland filled in. I just need to get some more seeds to be able to populate the crops, and then that will be pretty sweet. And I think it's looking pretty nice, considering it's really just not much yet. There's still so much we need to do. And now that the roads are in, we have a much better idea of how this place is going to be looking. So if we have a look at the sky, this is what we've got now. You can see the area is coming together very nicely. Now I've been trying to think and brainstorm ideas for how to do this farmland. And I want to do something different to what we've normally done. I want to surround each of the fields with some stone walls. I think it'll be very nice. And it will help us hide the fact that this is literally a savanna biome, which we desperately need to do because you can still very much tell that it is a savanna biome. Now, I am going to need to grab some cobblestone. Thankfully, we have a bunch of it back at our base. I'm just going to grab as much as I can fit in my inventory. While I'm here, I'm going to grab up a couple types of crops just so that we have it on us and over near our new area. So I'm going to grab some potato. I want to grab roughly 2 stacks of each. So that should be plenty potato. I want 2 stacks of carrot, and I'll quickly chuck this in the shulker box so we can grab up a couple beetroot as well, just like that. So we don't actually need the beetroot on us, just the seeds. So now we've got everything we need. Let's head back. So I'm going to use a mixture of a couple blocks. I'm going to use some cobblestone, some stone, and maybe some andesite or stone bricks, and pretty much in the areas that are surrounded by both the coarse dirt and the stone paths are going to be kind of fields. So this entire thing here, right around where I'm tracing with the cursor, is going to be a field. And the dirt paths are kind of going to be going in between the crops themselves. So as an example, I'm just going to use cobblestone to kind of plan out where this is going to go. There's going to be an entrance here with this dirt path. And I'm just going to place the cobblestone right around this entire thing here, just like this. So you can see this is going to be one large field here with one particular type of crop. Now I'm going to make a smaller field for here because this section is pretty tiny. As you can see, it literally only covers a little bit of area, but it's okay. We need these to be all different shapes and sizes, which is going to make the area look much more realistic. And over on this side, we'll just have it meet up with the wall or the mountain side, I guess. So now that's 2 sections of the farmland filled in. Now obviously there's not much space between the coarse dirt and the walls, but this is intentional because obviously there's not many things we can do. Usually I would just bone meal the hell out of it, but obviously we can't do that because we're trying to hide the fact that it's a savanna biome. So I'm trying to limit the amount of space, which will make it easier to conceal the fact that it is an ugly biome that we're building in. Now we've got another one here. I'm just going to create another couple. There's going to be one here, one in this section over here, probably one here, and then one here. So let me get that done really quick. I'm going to create a infinite water source right in the middle, just so we can have access to water whenever we need. And I'm going to just quickly put in some crops where I know those particular crops are going to be, just so we can start at least growing them. So I'm just going to create fields with one simple water source, just with those crops surrounding that one block, just so we can at least get the crops started in those areas. And then at least we also know what is going to be where, which will be helpful for later. So I'll make this one potatoes, and this one will be carrots, and I guess finally this one will be beetroot. Now 3 of the plots have the crops kind of started at least. So obviously we have potatoes here, we have carrots, and then we have beetroot here. Now there is 1, 2, 3, 4 other plots that are going to have different types of things. For example, we need some berries, we need some melons, and we need some pumpkins. But you can see very clearly this area is coming together very nicely. I'm so happy with how it's turning out, and very soon we won't even be able to tell that this entire thing is a savanna biome, and I'm so excited, guys. You have no idea. So I'm going to grab up some andesite, a bunch of stone, which apparently I'm actually lacking a bit of, which is a little bit weird. Here we go. I might grab some stone bricks as well. I dump off the moss and random stuff we're not going to be using for now, only temporarily. And I'm going to craft up a bunch of stone stairs, a stack and 16. You know what, we'll make another one. Almost 2 stacks of stone stairs. We got plenty of slabs, and I think we should have enough andesite. Let me just check to see if I have any more in this chest. We have slabs. We'll grab some of them. Polished andesite? No, not on the walls. That's a bit overdone. Okay, apparently that's all the andesite we have. So that should do for now, okay? We're going to have to make do with what we got. So let's start with this small thing here, just so I can show you exactly what I'm going to be doing. This one actually doesn't have any dirt paths, and that's how we're going to be signifying the entrances, but I guess it makes the most amount of sense to enter in from here. So Let me delete this. And then delete a couple of these. I'm going to quickly grab a bit of dirt because I haven't got any on me. And I'm just going to fill this back in and connect it up with a dirt path and have a dirt path kind of slightly run through this area. Just like this. That should be fine. So now this will be the entrance. Now I'm going to add in some stone bricks in between the cobblestone. Very, very sparsely. We're not going to use much of it. So kind of like that. We're going to place some andesite between and also on top. So very, very sparsely on top. But most of it's going to be underneath, kind of just like this. Obviously the blocks at the bottom have to be darker and kind of more crumpled. You can see obviously the cobblestone signifies it's like broken down rocks potentially. Stone bricks are a little bit darker. Andesite looks like stone but just broken down a little bit more. And then of course there's going to be stone on the very top, filling in the rest of the blanks. Now the walls should be 1 to 3 blocks high, just trying to be as kind of random as possible, just like this. And I know you're probably thinking it looks a bit weird. That's because we're not done. Now we got to use these stone stairs and slabs to kind of give it a little bit more shape because it's very blocky right now. So adding these in is going to give us that nice little kind of rugged look and make it look very nice. I hope. I haven't built one of these walls for a while. I think I actually have a tutorial on my channel from like years ago where I built one of these, but yeah, it's been a minute. And by a minute, I mean thousands of days. Okay, so don't judge me. And that is what we got. And I think it looks okay. I think it might be a little bit tall, but we'll have to find out because right now there's nothing in here. So I'm sure it'll look better when it's done. But to really make this look perfect, we got to grab ourselves some cobblestone stairs. We're just going to place these kind of on the outside every now and again, just to kind of give it that kind of run down feeling. So it's not so straight, just like this. And if we have a look at that, I think that looks pretty good. Now, we're obviously still not done with this. There's one more thing we can do to really make this look perfect, and that is adding in some leaves. So I'm going to grab some leaves. The leaves obviously don't change color, and I'm going to first of all place in the azalea leaves, the flowering ones, mostly trying to cover up these little bits of grass that we've got. That doesn't look good. And then we're going to add in the other ones, just kind of sparsely around. This will give it a little bit of kind of overgrown feeling, and it's a very nice detail to add. Obviously, let's fix this. In an investigation, details matter. Shout out to anyone who knows what that reference is from. But I think these leaves are really going to give it that nice little bit of character. There we go. Let's have a look at that. Oh my days. Guys, this is absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited to see what this looks like once we get all of them done. Now, on the inside, let's fix this up because that looks weird. Boom. Okay, that's fine. Now, for the inside here, I'm thinking this should be a wheat farm as well because we've already got wheat up here and down here, so I think it makes a bit of sense to have it here too. Now that I'm looking at it, I think we should chuck some cobblestone stairs on the inside too because it just feels so flat. The walls don't look right to me, so I'm going to chuck some of them down just to give it a bit more shape on the inside. Maybe I'll use some regular stone as well. Maybe throw a block in here and there. I think that'll fix it up a bit just because it's very flat. At least I think it was flat. Okay, that's a bit better. So I am going to make that wheat. So I'll quickly grab up some buckets, just place it in, just so we can fill this entire thing in. And now we just need seeds to fill this in. And I think it's going to look good. Now I think I'm also going to add some leaves to the inside, just to give it that little bit of extra kind of green. Because we're really trying to spruce this up. Maybe some leaves in the middle too. I think that'll be nice, like that. So we'll grab some spruce slabs and I'll find some seeds in here potentially. Oh, we got a bunch of seeds in here. That's beautiful, mate. And we'll just finish this one up real quick, covering up the water and then getting the beautiful, delicious seeds in here. And then that will officially be the very first, albeit a little bit small, kind of farm field done in this area. Just like this. Oh my days. Look at that. Wow. And I do still need to add some flowers and color to the outside, which will be very easy, but have a look at this. You cannot tell right here that anything here is a savanna biome. Like right at the screen right now without moving, this is a savanna biome. Have a look at the screen. It says savanna, but you could not possibly tell. If I didn't tell you that, obviously this side you can, but right here, you can't tell that's a savanna biome. And that's what we're going to do to this entire area. You can see we are finally reclaiming this area and making it look so much better, guys. Oh my days. So the next thing I need to do is exactly what we've done here with the stone and the leaves around the edge to pretty much everywhere I've put cobblestone right here. So there's a lot of work cut out for me, and I'm going to do that in the form of a time lapse once again to save you guys a bunch of time, because otherwise I'd just keep yapping and this video would be 757 hours long, which is not going to be good. Who's going to watch that? Probably no one. So, enjoy the time lapse. And ladies and gentlemen, the area is looking so much different now. This thing is coming along so nice. Now, obviously, I'm waiting just on these crops to grow. I could go grab the crops from the other places, but I'd rather just wait. You know, not a big issue. That's fine. What I need to do now is get a nice little farm through here. It's a pretty narrow piece of land, but I know exactly what farm we're going to use, and you can see from the inventory what that is going to be. So to start off with, I'm going to need to take strips of this moss out and replace it with some dirt, and then turn that dirt into dirt paths, just like this, to create these lines. And we're going to do that the entire way down, pretty much all the way to the end over here. Now, I have had a few issues with creepers. I've had them blow up on me a couple times while making this, and it's been a little bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. So I'm doing my best to make sure that I don't have any more accidents. And yeah, just like that, another one, taking out a bunch of... It wasn't too bad, at least. But the other ones were absolutely horrendous. In fact, I think I still haven't repaired fully one of them. And it was literally right here. Look at this. It's still not fixed. On mod days. That'll have to do for now. Okay, now that we've got the dirt path mixed in lines with the moss, what I'm going to do is grab up the two types of azalea bushes. And I'm going to just place these with a 1 block gap on each of the moss blocks. Trying to keep it a little bit different. Kind of stagger them a little bit. And that's the azalea bushes in. But we're not done just yet. I should probably continue this a little bit further, to be honest. It's a bit weird that it just randomly stops. There we go. Now, this isn't the first time we've made this type of farm. I have actually made it before, just over here. And last time we used peonies, but we also used a bunch of bone meal to kind of fill in the spaces in between. But obviously we can't do that for this one. So instead, I'm going to try and find a bunch of different flowers. So I'm thinking cornflowers will go well, which we have plenty of. And while I'm here, I do need to grab some more fireworks. So let me see what I've got in my chests. Okay, we've got plenty. And I'm also going to be using peonies, which we already have down there, so we don't have to grab any from our storage. Wow, look at this area as we fly over. That looks incredible. That is so much better than what it was before. Oh my days. Okay, but let's not get distracted. We still have a whole lot of work to do. So we'll grab up 34 bone meal. That should be fine. Now I'm just going to grab a bunch of these bad boys right here. Then we'll head back over to that farm we're creating and chuck these. Oh, we got a bunch of mobs here. Oh my days. Hold on a minute. Please don't be any creepers. And I'll just throw these into the spots where I can. And of course, I'll chuck in some peonies as well. And it looks just like this. I do like it. I think it looks okay. It'll look better once we get the stone along the edge a little bit more fixed up, but for now, I'd say that's pretty good. Next up, I need to grab a bunch of spruce fences and I need to go to our sweet berry farm to grab a bunch of sweet berries. Make sure to chuck on my chest plate because these things are very prickly. No, it might be better just to break them like this, to be honest with you. Let me see. How many do I get? Definitely not as many as when we just get them normally, but then we don't have to worry about being prickled. I mean, I don't really know what the other option is, to be honest with you. This is certainly a lot faster than just right clicking them. I am going to try and grab as many of these as I can because I'm going to need to use them for the detailing around the area as well. And that is just about a full inventory. So let's go back and we'll get a sweet berry farm right along the edge of the mountain over here. Now I think I'm going to need to use moss because I don't think the grass underneath is going to cut it, to be honest. I thought maybe we could get away with it, but yeah, I don't think it's going to work. But I don't have any moss left. I've used it all already, which means I unfortunately need to go and grind up a bunch more once again. I mean, we got a little bit in here, but certainly not enough to do what we need to do. But I am running pretty low on bones. I don't actually know how much we've got left. We haven't got much. Some bone meal there, a couple bones. I'll just see what I can grab. Okay, this is literally all we've got left, which is not much at all. So let's fly over to our spot and just start grinding up this moss once again. Honestly, I think this will be enough for now, and I'm getting pretty over breaking the moss, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll head back and get that farm set up right away. Thankfully, this farm is very easy to put in. The only reason it's a little bit more tedious is because obviously we can't just use grass. We have to use the moss blocks, which is a little bit annoying, but it's what we have to do to transform this biome. And it actually looks like our shovel is about to break too, which isn't too good. I don't think we're really going to need it much more for the rest of this, but I don't know. I don't know how much more digging we've got to do. We are sitting on day 486, so this project has pretty much eaten up the remaining days of the 400 to 500 day kind of thing there, but that's all right. This is a huge project, definitely the biggest project that we've done so far. So of course I'm just going to place in the rows of fences and the sweet berry bushes one by one, exactly like we've done at the other one. I think this farm looks so nice. I love it. So of course we have to include it in this area. So this is what we're left with. It's not a huge sweet berry farm, but it's definitely nice. I do like having them in here, but looking at the overall build, it's coming along very nicely. We have a couple more spots we need to fill in. This one's going to become a wheat farm because it's really small and makes sense being near the other wheat. I want to try and add some pumpkins in here and some melons. I haven't got many, so we're not going to be able to fill it in full, but at least we'll get some growing. Then I'm thinking about filling this entire thing in with wheat because I just love the way it looks. I think it looks so nice. So I guess we'll start with the melons and pumpkins because we need to get some of them growing. Now I'm pretty sure I do have both of those near the beach. Okay, we got pumpkins here. So I'll grab up some of these. Oh wow, we got so many pumpkins. This is so good. I was literally thinking I had nothing. It's been a while since I've been over here. But yeah, we got plenty, guys. Look at this. Oh, and we got phantoms. That's okay. Let me fly to the base so we can get some melons. I know we've got melons in the base. We got plenty of those as well. So it might not be as bad as I thought. Yeah, look at all these melons. Oh my god. So we'll fly all the way back and we'll get some melons and pumpkins added into those two spots. Yeah, this place is looking so good. Maybe I'll add a wheat farm here and a wheat farm there. I think that'll be nice having the wheat kind of around the edges. I don't know. Maybe I'm just way too in love with wheat. I'm not sure. But we'll add pumpkin on this side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll randomly add in just a whole bunch of pumpkin seeds and yeah, leave a bunch of spots free, let them grow. Then in the spaces that don't grow, I'll turn it to coarse dirt and podzol. And this is just the way I like having these kind of melon and pumpkin farms. I think it's so much better than having lines of it. I think the lines of it just look weird and unnatural. So I'll do the exact same thing with the melons, just randomly chuck these bad boys in here, exactly like this. And if we have a look at that, well, I guess there's not really much to see yet, but once it grows, it's going to look a lot better. Now, while I have all of these sweet berries, and on my days, I didn't sleep. Let me quickly have a quick nap. Obviously, we're not skipping the night. Laying down for a second, just so I can literally have those phantoms leave me alone, because they are unbelievably annoying. But we'll just chuck in some sweet berries along the edges here. You know what? I'm going to not go anywhere near that creeper, because I do not want anything else exploding. I would probably cry. Dude, these phantoms need to go. Get out of here. And I'm gonna... Hold on a second, buddy. I'm trying to explain something. Anyway, I'm gonna grab a bunch of these peonies. Do the same thing. I'm just gonna add these just around. I should actually also, while I'm doing that, be doing the rose bushes. So I can do them both at the same time, I guess. So I used the rest of my bone meal on that, so hopefully we got enough. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm having a pretty hard time believing that this was ever a savanna biome. Obviously, there's still a little bit of evidence left behind, but we are very quickly clearing that up, and this place is turning out so nice. But I'm going to spend the next couple hours going through and finishing up this pumpkin farm, this melon farm, fixing up the wheat farm in here, filling this area in with wheat, and then finally this huge spot in here with wheat as well. So I'll see you guys after the time lapse. And ladies and gentlemen, after many hours of hard work and plowing land and a couple diamond hoes, I went through like 2 or 3 diamond hoes to do this. We've got all the land plowed up. Now, obviously, I still need to plant it all, but we are on day 489, so we are running very low on time. So the very first thing I need to do is make sure I start collecting all these pumpkins and the melons so that I can get some more seeds. So of course we're going to start with the pumpkin. Just going to harvest all these cheeky buggers all the way up, turn them all into pumpkin seeds, which actually, now that I think of it, might be too many. That's fine though. We're going to just plant all these all the way down, just randomly, once again leaving a bunch of space in between. Now I do actually have a tutorial for this on my channel as well, for exactly how to make this pumpkin farm. I think it was actually one of the very first tutorials I ever made. But yeah, this pumpkin farm is definitely my favorite, and it's not the most efficient, definitely not the most efficient, but I think it just looks really nice. So if you're looking to build an aesthetic pumpkin farm, be sure to go ahead and check that video out. And we're already out of seeds, so obviously it uses a lot more than I expected. This is a much larger farm than we've ever made for pumpkins on this world. So at least if we do need pumpkins in the future, we're not going to have a problem getting them. I got a couple more seeds from harvesting whatever pumpkins had already grown since we harvested last, but it's still not enough. We still have a little bit more to do. And once we fill it all in with seeds and have it looking nice, I'll wait for them all to grow just so we can see the spread of it. And if it's good, then we can start adding in our coarse dirt and our podzol. But with the melons, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make seeds. No, I can't. So I'm going to have to harvest these with me fist, or I guess a torch. In terms of our melon farm though, we have a lot less melons than pumpkins. So I guess it's not really a big issue though, because this farmland area is much smaller than the pumpkin. So even though we've got less, it's not going to be as hard to fill in, I don't think. But let's just turn at least a stack into seeds, and we'll just get these cheeky buggers planted in as well. Okay, no, we're definitely not going to have enough, but we're going to be pretty close. Next time we do a harvest, we're definitely going to have enough, so it'll be okay. So I'll just break this one as well, and that gives us 4. So we've only got a little bit more to do. We're almost done for the melon farm, at least for planting in the stalks. Now, of course, our potato, our carrot, and our beetroot farm still are not complete. So I've got to quickly do a bit of a harvest and get as many of them planted in for all of them. And I'm not going to waste your time watching that, so I'll do that really quick, and I'll see you guys in a second. So I've filled in as much as I could. I've done quite a bit of the wheat. We've still got a lot to do over here, and there's still quite a lot of the carrot farm to go, because obviously there wasn't enough to fill in this massive space. The potatoes are completely done. The beetroot is done. These wheat farms over here are done, and we're just waiting on the pumpkins to grow. I should probably actually fill that in now, to be honest with you, because we do still need to wait for the stems to fully grow before we can do the next part of that farm. So let me quickly break a couple of these bad boys and get that filled in. We are on day 491, so we're running very, very low on time. We have to have this done in less than 9 days, and we're already halfway through day 491. So it took almost 2 full days to be able to fill in all of these farms. This area is just so massive. I honestly didn't expect it to be this big, but I'm just going to try and fill in the rest of these melon and pumpkin farms so the stems are at least growing, because they need to really grow before we can do the next part. And if we don't do that now, we're really going to run out of time. And I think that's the melons just about done. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's do the pumpkins. Okay, that should be more than enough. I don't even know why I harvested it up that much. There's not much to do in here. I'll just fill in the little spots that feel a little bit weird, and then finally all through here. And there we go. Now the pumpkin and the melon farms are completely done. We're just waiting on the stems. Hold on a second. There's way too much space in here. There we go. Okay, now it's done. So as you can see, all the farms in here except for the carrots are done. And I do have plenty of seeds at the base, so I can go and grab those to finish off the wheat farm. But there is an even more important thing we need to do. So I have a bunch of stone in my inventory, andesite, stairs, and slabs. What I'm going to do is we're going to start at the very front, and on the tops of these mountains, as you can see, it's pretty flat. I'm going to do the exact same thing I usually do for these things, just add in some stone and andesite bits just to give it kind of like a fence, because while I was harvesting this area, I literally almost fell off the mountain a couple times, which, I mean, it's not a big fall, but it's just annoying, and it just feels weird not having anything stopping people from falling off. So this is kind of what we're just going to do, and I think it gives a nice look. I've done it over here before. You can see it on these mountains over here. I think it looks really nice. So this is the kind of look we're looking at. It looks so much better with that. Look at that. Oh my days. Now I've just got to go ahead and add in a bunch of these stairs and slabs just to kind of really seal the deal, and it's going to make this place really pop. I mean, just have a look at that. That looks 100 times better. And there we go. That's this part done. And honestly, I think it really just makes this place look so much better. You can see in the distance, it kind of looks just very flat, but once we get this thing on, you know, it really changes it and makes it so much better. So I've just got to do that for this part here, the kind of road part around the side here, and then around this entire front, and of course these faces over here as well. So let me go ahead and get that done in the form of a time lapse. So my power went out, and apparently it corrupted this file. It's 000, so there's no time lapse, unfortunately, and my internet is down, so I have this super weird skin. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. So the final thing to do is, of course, fill in the rest of these farms and get some extra details just around to really get this place looking good. Especially through here, as you can see, there's really nothing along this path here. So of course, I'm going to start with the easiest one, which is of course just finishing out this carrot farm here, which will be nice and easy. So I'm just going to continue filling in this carrot farm, which is the final crop farm that we actually have to fill, which is very, very nice. And now we've got enough carrots, we should be sweet. Beautiful. Now that's this one done. So now I'm going to grab up a bunch of decorative decoration blocks and just run around the entire thing and fill in whatever I can. I'm going to grab some flowering azaleas, maybe a couple extra just in case. Going to use some hay bales, of course some peonies and rose bushes, spruce fences, and we'll do that for now. Man, this place is looking so good. I even managed to quickly finish up this area too. So I added a bit of variation in the size and added in some moss blocks as well. Man, this place is coming along so nicely. I'm very happy with what we've got going on. So I'm literally just adding in some fences every now and again, and into spots where there's some space, just some hay bales. I might grab some barrels to add into this bit here. Let's not forget the flowering azaleas and the normal azalea bushes as well. Just a nice way to add in a bit of extra oomph. Man, these small details are really going to bring this thing together, I reckon. Like, look at this. This place is looking so good, guys. Some fences, some hay bales. That's all you really need to do. We'll get some barrels in here. Well, I've got no details up here. I'm going to really need to go to town on this section. I am going to need to grab myself some more spruce fences because we are completely out. So let's go back. We're currently on day 493. So we are running very close. But I think with a little bit of luck and determination, we should be able to pull through and get there just in time. But through here, I'm just going to pretty much do the exact same thing, just add in some fences along the way. So I guess add a little bit of prominence to the road a little bit and guide the player through. Then of course we're going to use our normal spread of things. Man, I should have some rose bushes as well. Why did I not bring any? That is bad. Where are my rose bushes? Are they in here? No. Oh my days. Do I even have any? That's a good question. I guess I'll just take them from here. That should be enough. 30 will be plenty. Man, usually I just bone meal and it works so well, but I'm kind of lost on what to fill the moss in with. Maybe it doesn't need to be completely filled in all the way, but it's just not normal for me. Now, to break up this wheat farm a little bit, I want to add in a couple stacks of hay bales, kind of like in the middle. So maybe one right here, and I'll go with one right here too. I think that'll be nice. Maybe I'll add more, but I'll need to get more wheat first. Honestly, I think I like the pumpkin farm and melon farm just like this. There's no need to add in any extra podzol, I don't think. It's still growing too, so we can't really do it just yet. But I like how those two farms look. That's very nice. But I'm going to head back to the base and grab up the rest of my wheat seeds or whatever wheat seeds I can grab just to fill in that final area there. I'm going to dump everything else because I don't really need it anymore. And we have a whole double chest, or almost a whole double chest of seeds, which is beautiful. So let me head back all the way and look at this. This looks so good, I think. I mean, if it doesn't, please let me know. I think it looks okay, at least for like phase 1 of this project. Obviously, there's a lot more that we're going to be doing, adding buildings in here, expanding it even further in the future. And honestly, I think in the future, I do want to have some of the savanna biome remaining. Oh, hold on a second. Get out of here, buddy. Like, I'm not sure what part yet. Maybe that way or even maybe over that way. And kind of like have a savanna themed thing. Maybe I'll turn some of it into like a desert theme, because there's no desert anywhere near, and we definitely need a desert, so we might as well do that in the savanna biome. I think that'll be a nice way to transform another part of it, but I really do want to make the savanna biome unique. I think just normally it's very boring, and it's just not a nice biome to kind of exist in, so transforming it for me is a new thing. And obviously we're going to start off with the farms, because I'm a farmer. I love farming, alright? I literally used to spend hours on this game just farming on servers where we had like plugins where you'd make money from doing it, and I would like literally just create huge farms and just spend my entire existence farming, and I loved it. There's nothing more that I love in this game than farming. It's literally the best. Used to be able to level up a farming skill like in MCMMO. It's called herbalism, and I would always just jump on a server with MCMMO and just keep farming until I was literally number 1, and number 1 by far. I didn't want to just barely be number 1. I wanted to, you know, rise up right to the top. It was a lot of fun for me. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that, and I guess that's where this comes from. I still just love farming. I don't know if it's weird, but it's a good part of the game for me. But this project has turned out to be a lot bigger than I thought. Like this video should have been uploaded yesterday at 9 a.m. and right now it's 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon the next day. So it's taken a lot longer than I thought, but I'm hoping that you guys enjoy the video and that it's worth it. All right. I hope it's worth it, because this has taken like at least 16 hours, but I mean, this looks so nice. I think right now it's a little bit off-putting because some of the crops aren't fully grown, but once once it's all grown, this place is really going to be popping off. Man, we are burning through these seeds very fast. All right, that's one side done, but we are very, very low on seeds. I don't think we're going to get this side done without another harvest. I mean, we do have some more seeds back at the base, so I could just go grab them. I'm sure I could find some more, but I still think we're going to have to do another harvest anyway because we have so much here. It's insane. And there we go. We're out of seeds. I actually got a lot closer than I thought I was going to be. So if I just go back to the base and grab up what seeds we have there, I think we're going to be pretty sweet. Now, the next video we're going to do is going to involve us getting a whole lot of emeralds. Moving on from day 500, I think it's time to start getting our gear a little bit better. Right now, we still have the exact same pickaxe that we've had since even before day 100. Oh, look at all these seeds. Yeah, man. All more days. But yeah, we've had the same pickaxe for a long time. So it's time to get this bad boy upgraded. But I'm not just going to upgrade it normally. We're going to make the most overpowered pickaxe you've ever seen. And I'm so excited. I don't want to make any overpowered armor because I feel like that kind of ruins the point of the hardcore, just like totems ruin the point. So I don't want to make any gear that's insane because I still want to be able to die. I feel like totems ruin the point of hardcore because it makes it pretty much impossible to die. And in the same boat, I feel like making overpowered armor will also make the hardcore world seem pretty silly because, you know, it makes it impossible to die. But a pickaxe just makes it a little bit easier to get resources, makes it a little bit less inconvenient when you're trying to do big projects like I do all the time. So I'm going to make a very, very strong pickaxe and we're going to see how strong we can get it. I think that'll be a lot of fun and a little bit different from what we usually do. But these wheat farms are going to help us get the emeralds required to do that. And we are going to need a lot of emeralds. It is going to be absolutely monumental. We're going to need to get absolutely rich and we're going to do that as a farmer. And these farms are going to be able to do that for us. Without these farms, I feel like it would take a lot longer. But I'm pretty sure the farms that we've built here is already much larger than all of our other farms combined. So I feel like we've effectively doubled the amount of farming that we can do in one kind of go. Like even with this farming village over here, we have farms around here too. So this whole area is really just becoming a farming district, which we're going to be able to use to grind up a bunch of emeralds when we need them, which we're going to need them very soon. So I feel like to give this farm a lot of sense and meaning, it makes the most amount of sense to do that next. So we can truly see how much riches we can get from this beautiful farm that we've created. But now that is this wheat farm done, I'm really wigged out by this skin. I really don't like it. I'm used to seeing a green man. Now I'm seeing some purple-haired woman. I think it's a woman. I don't know. But anyway, this is now what we've got to work with now. It is looking so beautiful. And we had plenty of seeds left over. So maybe we didn't need as many seeds as I thought we were going to need. Not necessarily a bad thing too. But I'm pretty happy with this, guys. Please let me know what you think about this area. Obviously, there's still quite a lot to do. But in terms of phase 1, I'm very happy with this. This has turned out so nice. In the future, eventually, we'll get this road fixed. And it's going to head all the way up here and, you know, go somewhere around here. I don't know what it's going to do, but we'll also get this mountain fixed up eventually. But I think the next large project we're going to work on in this area is going to be this river. We need to get this river fixed because it is absolutely ugly right now. So we need to fix up this road, connect it to this bridge, fix up this bridge, fix up the side of the mountain on this side, and then also this side as well, and fix up the river. And that's going to be a huge project, but I'm excited to get that started. I think that's really going to bring both sides, the left-hand side that we've always had and the brand new right-hand side that we've got together, and it's going to look so good. But ladies and gentlemen, oh my days, I can't believe we're finally finished with phase 1 of the Savannah biome project. And honestly, there's no way you can tell that this was a savanna. If you just walk through this normally, just like this, it just looks like a normal biome. Just beautiful farm fields, and that is exactly what we're going for. I mean, it just looks like normal grass. It is incredible. And look at these guys, just in time to ruin the moment. We are on day 494, so we did finish in time. It's almost day 495, so we got 5 or so days until day 500. So I think we did a pretty good job getting this thing done on time. But like I said, this is only phase 1 of this project. There is still a huge amount of work that we need to do, but I think in terms of transforming this savanna biome into a beautiful biome, I think we've done a pretty good job. I mean, just look at this. The crops are still not fully complete yet, but once they are, They're fully grown. This place is going to look absolutely mesmerizing, and I'm very happy with how it's turned out. So I hope you guys also love the way it's turned out, because it took a lot of time, a whole lot of time. And of course, we got a bunch of zombies coming for us on more days. Oh my god, there's even more zombies. What's going on? Where are my there's fireworks. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed absolutely going to town on building these farms, and I'm so excited to see how this continues, because this is absolutely gigantic. I know it's nighttime, so it's going to be a little bit harder to see, but if we look at both sides together, the brand new side we just created is pretty comparable to the size of our original kind of build. Like, this one over here is absolutely enormous, of course, because we spent 400 days building this. But considering we've only spent 100 days building this area, it is very, very large in comparison. So I think we've done a pretty damn good job. I'm excited to see the space between the two of the sides come together to kind of create just one large, enormous project. I think it's going to be so sick. But right now, man, I'm in love with this. This is looking so good. Obviously, this land is a lot more flat than this one, but they do share a striking resemblance, because we do use the same kind of terraforming techniques on both sides. So it's not like they're completely different things. There's still an obvious resemblance between the two. But man, this place is so nice to walk through. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I really do. And if you're not subscribed yet and you're still watching, it probably means that you enjoyed this video. So it would mean a lot to me if you did hit that subscribe button. I have a bunch of different ideas for new types of videos that I'm going to be creating in the future, so hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy those as well. But don't worry, this series is not going anywhere. I'm going to continue doing this as long as we survive. This series will be going, and hopefully we can make this world an incredible one without dying. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and as always, until next time, peace out.